Hello and welcome to the Alchemist Inkwell.
This is your spiritual podcast for grounded people. It is so nice to be back and talking about the week that we're actually existing in. Hi, everybody.
Right? I'm Emily, and I hope that you guys enjoyed the Florence Live kind of experiment that we did. I think it was really fun. I wish we could have taken you fully into like the Medici Palace we did kind of afterwards. That was last week's episode, if you guys are not like following along. It definitely was not feasible to do that. She would not have let us do that in any way. But it was still really cool. So I hope you guys got a lot out of that and like let us know as far as like on future trips if you want us to just try to incorporate that again or what. Because it was I got a lot out of it. And I didn't get hit by a car. So like all good things.
I didn't get hit by a car either, miraculously on that trip, which we'll talk more.
Um yeah, next week we're gonna do our Italy recap episode. So stay tuned for that. But we really wanted to do like an astrology and like energy catch up because we understand it's been a while. And we want to catch up with you and talk about like what's actually going on in this week that we're existing in and talk about something super exciting later in the episode.
Like I'm all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, yep, just had to fix something on my microphone. There we go. Just gonna
Oh yeah,
bug.
you are a little louder now.
Yeah, yeah. My screen was
Mhm.
away because I did a filming thing the other day and it was in the screen and I had to move it. And now you all know what I've been up to over the weekend. So
Yeah. So before we talk about our super exciting thing for the second half of this episode, let's just talk about like what's going on with the energy of this week. Because I'll tell you what, I'm actually real hyped about it. It feels really nice. It's like the sun has broken through the clouds and you're like drying off, is how it
I,
feels to me.
I love that because we're coming out of an earth season of Taurus, right? Which is
Hmm.
actually cold and cold and dry, but I always feel like it should be like more conducive to life in the whole way that temperaments work in astrology. But anyway, I think it's actually like cold and moist is the thing. So the mud. We're coming out of the mud, basically,
Hmm.
to the hot and moist air temperament, which is great, right? Summertime, perfect. But also what we're coming into is Gemini season. Yay, it's Gemini season. Happy solar season. And
Thank you. I love Gemini season so much.
yeah. Um, so this full moon that's coming up this week is really great, but I want to walk it back just a couple days to over
Mhm.
this weekend on Saturday. I walked into a coffee shop and they know me there. So the person behind the bar was like, "Hey, she identified them as my pagan friends, told me that today is a really lucky day for manifesting because of something to do with Saturn. And I know you're spiritual, so I just wanted to let you know." And me, I was like, something to do with Saturn being lucky. What? And I was just like, hang on a second. And my mind just cleared itself out. I'm like, I don't even know what day it is. What do you mean Saturn lucky? So I looked at it. I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. They meant Jupiter. Today is Jupiter's conjunction with the sun, which is why they think it's a super lucky day. And to their credit, every social media astrologer, even ones that I know from like Norwalk that actually go to conferences and stuff, were like, this is the luckiest day of the year. But I wish we would take a little bit more into context the rest of the sky. Because just because the planets aren't necessarily talking to each other in their positioning, the sky is still speaking as a whole.
Mhm.
So, as this Jupiter Cazimi was happening, it's great. Jupiter Cazimi in and of itself in an earth sign, lovely. We like that. It's very cornucopia vibes, right?
Mhm.
That Mars was also about to conjoin the North Node. Now, when Mars conjoined the South Node, this was a particular date in October that not many of us are going to forget. So
Mhm.
when this happened, I was just like, I just have a feeling that maybe something is going to happen that's pretty poignant and maybe not as abundant and exciting as we would hope for the Jupiter Cazimi. And
Mhm.
node amplifies. The South Node, which was the date in October, actually like is the sort of the black hole. Think about all that intensity going into a certain point and purging, right? The North Node amplifies. This would be the white hole, putting it out there kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
This is making it a big deal. And of course, we did have, if you're wondering what exactly I'm referring to that is associated with this, look up what happened with the helicopter over the weekend. That will give you the headline that I'm referring to. Um, that's a big
Also, Yeah. Also, just gonna throw this in there too, like all eyes on Rafa, please, because it's also there's big things going on in Palestine too. So
Yeah, we wanna keep an eye on
please
that
pay attention. Yeah.
because there are things, still ahead. There's
Hmm.
obviously, this is what I've been saying. This week, after the Kazemi, which is a very lucky thing,
Hmm.
I mean, lucky in its essence. Context is
Right.
um
Context is key.
yeah. But this week we have our full moon happening in Sagittarius. I will be doing a specifically astrology video on this on my YouTube. I'm very excited to record it because there's some like astrology little tidbits that are extra cute about it. But basically, this is happening on the same day that Jupiter and Venus will conjoin with each other at the 29th degree of Taurus. So the benefic Jupiter, who rules Sagittarius, where the full moon is, creates this abundant, exciting, freedom loving, expressive energy in a full moon, the moon full of light, able to do all the things that the moon wants to do, and is conjoined and supported by Venus by conjunction in Venus's sign. So there's like Venus saying, "Hey, we're going shopping, I'm paying." And that's really nice, right?
Hmm.
So then later that day, Venus will go over into Gemini, which is not a problem either. She just comes out of domicile, but she's not in detriment or anything in Gemini. Later in the
Hmm.
week, Jupiter will go into Gemini. Jupiter is in detriment there, but I want to specify that just because Jupiter is in detriment there, it simply means that Jupiter does not have access to all the Jupiterian resources that Jupiter is used to. If Jupiter
Yeah.
is used to the fun, expressive, exploration, expansive stuff of like Sagittarius, then Gemini is like the I know you want to expand a thing, but I have like 7 things and you have to decide if you want to expand all of them equally or pick one and like be unequal about it or whatever. So it's just this complex quandary of choice that Jupiter has in Gemini. Not necessarily a bad thing, especially if you've got Gemini placements. Yay for you. Um, because
Yay for you.
Jupiter will be transiting through Gemini the whole year.
Hmm.
Right. Wherever Gemini is in your chart, Jupiter is going to be there too, giving a big old thumbs up for better and for challenging, or for, I like to say in hindsight, you'll say, I'm glad that happened because Jupiter moves slowly, takes a while for us to see
Hmm.
too. But once we do, we're like, oh, dang, glad that happened. So being conscious about the full moon this week, it's the if I had nothing in my way, what would I want in my life? And what resources are around me already that may help me build either what's most accessible to my abundance, or my phone is literally ringing. What's most accessible to my abundance that I didn't realize I deserved, or that I could actually make and have it now instead of having to dream about it coming someday.
Hmm. It's interesting to say that. So when I look at the Sagittarius full moon too, the energy that I was going to say as far as what you should be focusing on releasing during this full moon is abundance blocks specifically. Um, it's on everybody's mind and it's feeling very tight right now for abundance stuff. And that goes with abundance of magic, that goes with abundance of finances, that goes with abundance of love. Like all of those things feel kind of tight. Time specifically is coming up and triggering for a lot of people at this point in time as I drop something. So if whatever abundance areas you're feeling the tightest in, like that you're feeling you're not receiving abundance from, right? So places where you want abundance, whether that is financial or love or time or whatever it is, that is the place where I would look to focus on like what are your biggest blocks there. Now, I do think that identifying your blocks with this particular full moon would be really helpful to do.
Mhm.
So not just like vague abundance, anything that's blocking my abundance, I release it. Of course, you can do that. That's fine. But if you really want to make the most out of this energy, because it is kind of magnified a little bit with this full moon, I really recommend like coming up, finding a couple statements that you would say are blocks that you're struggling to overcome in regards to abundance in whatever areas. So whether it's like I'm unworthy of love and that's what's blocking your abundance of love coming in, or nothing is trustworthy and that's what's blocking your abundance of finances coming in, whatever it is, but like identify it into like some statements and release those statements. Like the more specificity you get with it, kind of the better with this full moon, at least when I'm looking at the energy of it, because it is releasing abundance blocks specifically. It's kind of like simultaneously claiming that you deserve abundance in those areas. That's why it's like helpful to get really specific.
Mhm. Agreed. And plus, it is still with the ruler of this conjunct Venus in Taurus. It's a very tangible sign.
Hmm.
So it's
Yeah.
typically, what would you like? You
What
make
would you
all
like?
to the menu. What would you like?
Hmm. No, I, yeah. And it's really, it's fun. really like this energy right now.
And honestly, even if it doesn't naturally show up fun for you, make it fun.
Hmm.
World is ridiculous right now. And this is a fun transit that we can hold on to and make ours. If it is not your birthday, decide it is anyway and just celebrate something because
Yeah.
we all deserve that break.
Yeah, we really do. And it's been a hell of a start of the year.
Uh-huh.
It's been a hell of the start of the year. And don't get me wrong, or us wrong, when we say like celebrate something, embrace this good energy, that does not mean ignore all the yucky things that are happening because we can't. But we can embrace this energy as an act of rebellion to the things that would like us to not do so, which is a lot of what's happening in the world right now, especially on like governmental control levels and things like that. Like there's a lot of like people don't want us to have joy.
Mm-mm.
You choosing to embrace some of this good energy, even while still acknowledging and holding the truth that a lot of the world is going very shitty right now, that's cool. That's good. It's going to renew your energy. It's going to help you move forward. It's going to give you direction. It's going to give you motivation. It will really help you to embrace that you can make change and make differences in the world at large and experience, yeah, this stuff is really shitty while simultaneously not giving up what it is to be human.
Mhm.
So,
And you need to be able to have
my
that
tip.
inkling that keeps your fire going to be able to take action when action is appropriate. So it
Yep.
makes sense to give yourself those days where you can remember how you define joy so that you remember how to create it in the world and how to help bring it to others as well and how to enable and empower them to find it for themselves in whatever area you find yourself given power and influence.
Yeah, absolutely. It's also a really wonderful week this week. I recommend going outside and just being
Mhm.
outside for a while and just getting to like reconnect with nature and your body and the energy of being a person. Like I really recommend that this week because it will ground you into the energy of now and help make you more present. Right now it's really easy to slip into the energy of what's tomorrow and what's going to happen next and whatever, and this is going to unwork that a little bit and help you kind of reground, which is so necessary right now. Like so necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, the other thing too is I wouldn't focus on trying to figure out exactly what action you need to take this week. I would let yourself be divinely inspired by
Mhm.
stuff, and not apply the but I can't.
Mhm.
But I don't know how that's going to work, so I can't do that. Like, if you get some divine inspiration, just like be excited by the fact that you are getting divine inspiration and just let that be what it is and let the steps kind of unfold over the next couple weeks instead of focusing on like, but how would I do that? What would this? I can't do that because of this. Just be like, ooh, I would love to do that. What a cool idea. And then just embrace the fact that you just got a cool idea instead of having to plan it immediately.
This is a really great week, even, thinking about this in Jupiter being the priest energy, the godly energy, the divinity.
Mm-hmm.
If you put out a small little offering to whatever divinity
Mm-hmm.
you work with or whatever divinities you're open to working with, be specific on that. Um, just putting out a small offering to let them know that you are there meeting halfway as well would be really nifty. I'm reading with our book club this month, The Light a Black Candle, which is Italian folk magic, and they talk about these little cookies you can make as an offering to the saints, the fae, they actually work with house fae. They work
I
with
love that.
yeah, it's totally incorporated among the saints and the angels and the other deities that you're allowed to incorporate from other faiths. It's totally fine. And I
Mm-hmm.
love that. So anything that you feel connected to, this is a great time to just set something on your altar for them, and even if it's just lighting a candle or a little like food thing, a sugar cube is really great as an offering right around now, because Venus adding
Mm-hmm.
spices. And then just sort of say, hey, by the way, I know you're here. I the other day finally got to pull out every time we travel somewhere, I get a coin from that location and I bring it back and I put it into a little bowl that is for my house fairies because they like them and I want them to be happy. So I bring them a little
I
gift every.
should probably I should probably do that. Well, Cinnamon wants food and food exclusively, so maybe I'll leave Cinnamon some food. And my other fairies, they probably just want me to water the plant, to be totally honest. I don't like that's what they want. I'm like, I think they just want me to water my plant.
I have a plant in my
So
home that revealed itself to me, I think last week, that it is the guardian of the home. It's a potted plant left by the last owner. And I've been watering it because I'm like, oh, a plant that's alive without a lot of taking care of. I can keep you alive,
magical.
or I'm going to contribute to that. And then last week I was talking to someone about the house and I was like, oh, you're the guardian. And it was like, yeah, that's why I sit on your mantle. Fair. That's so fair.
Hmm. I should probably put coins in the plant. That's
Mhm.
actually not a bad idea. Hmm. Next time, guys. Do it later. Don't get mad at me for not doing it before. They don't
An herb garden.
care.
So while I'm gone this week at Norwalk, I have Dan being like, this is how you know if they have too much water. This is how you know if they don't have enough water. Don't forget to water the guardian. It's like, who's the guardian? And I'm like, right. We have the Venus talisman plant and the
Hmm.
guardian indoors. And then we have the herbs outside.
Yep.
And they
Fair
need
enough.
loved.
Our yard is completely green, all with weeds, and a couple other things, but it makes me so happy. I love it so much because weeds are just plants that people decided they didn't like because they're mean to them. I love our weeds. They're fantastic. They're amazing. But out my door here, you can see there's like a huge patch of just dandelions. I was so hyped about it. I was telling Chris about it on Friday. I was like, I love dandelions so much. They're like one of my favorites. I'm so passionate about them. The squirrels ate them all in a matter of like 3 hours.
No.
Um, yeah, and we call all of our squirrels Herman. If they're a squirrel, their name's Herman. And they're Herman the Squirrelmans. And I was so pissed. I was like, Herman, why? Like, some of them did go to seed, and there's more dandelions now. Like it's so many dandelions. So I get it, and I'm happy to provide them with a stack. Like rude.
Mhm. I didn't dandelions. Like they were copious in Pennsylvania, right? But I haven't also
Hmm.
been looking for them in the last year and a half. I've just been
Hmm.
trying to find stability. I found
Yeah.
it. So now I'm looking for dandelions.
Yeah. I love dandelions. They're my favorite. They make me so happy.
Hmm.
I want my whole yard to be edible. So
I
it's like
agree.
step one.
Yeah.
Hmm. So, and we have some lilacs going that are going to pop off here pretty soon, which is pretty exciting as well. Love me some lilacs, also edible.
Mhm.
Um, we have aspen trees. Those aren't, well, technically the bark is edible, I guess, but um, yeah, we're going to see if they, we took them from our last house because they weren't going to be appreciated. And so I'm hoping they come back
Yeah.
from the void.
So
So we'll see. But definitely fairy blessed yard. When we moved into this house, there was no plants, like very few plants growing at all. And we haven't even been here for a year, and now it's all green, and it makes me so happy.
awesome.
And we haven't even done anything to it. Nothing
Oh,
at all. My dad's gonna have an aneurysm though, because my dad's a plant biologist and he's a landscape architect and or landscape contractor, and our whole yard is weeds, and he's gonna be like, "What is happening?"
nature.
Uh-huh. I love it. Let it be taken over. Oh. Well, we also, on top of all the energy of this week and just catching you guys up, it's so nice to talk to you guys again.
Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
Yeah, I'm literally missed you all.
Uh-huh. So much.
Mhm. I'm coming
We
home from
love this.
early, so we don't have to schedule a double episode this week, so we can actually spend time with you next week. It was definitely one of the factors of the change in my schedule.
Yeah. Yeah. We love doing these. And it's so nice to do them the week of. Like, we don't mind doing them in advance, but it's kind of like, it's just not as immersive for us. So we like doing this is great for us. We're passionate about it.
Yeah. And we do have
Um,
some interesting changes that are going to be coming, not huge, like nothing that you have to do different, but we do have some different changes that are coming up in the way that we roll. Uh,
mhm.
Very exciting to announce soon. Um, but there's something coming up this week that we can also talk about.
So, we are doing another Sacred Spaces gathering this September in Richmond, Virginia, and we are so freaking excited because truly, I mean, you guys heard our Sacred Spaces recap, what we did with Rebecca and everything. Like, it was one of the coolest things, I mean, personal experience I've ever done in my entire life. It was so amazing to be in this energy, and now we're doing it again. And so if you missed out on the last one, come to the one in September. It's going to be incredible. Like, oh,
I am looking forward to it as I would like a genuine, amazing family gathering. I am just so excited. I can't wait to meet new people, to get to see people who were there last time again. If you didn't go last time, tickets are going to be available starting on this amazing full moon. So if you want to celebrate it, a
mhm,
really great way to do that, I've set an election astrologically. So you know when you receive an email, if you're subscribed to any of our mailing lists, you'll receive an email when
mhm.
it's live. At that moment, you'll be able to go and know it's a perfect astrological hour on a really wonderful astrological day where you can grab that ticket. And that's another really great way to honor this full moon and create the abundance that you want to see in your life in a very specific way. Because we even have
Yeah.
add-ons.
Yeah, so we're doing something a little bit different this time. So last time we did kind of like the classic conference structure where we had like a VIP ticket and then we had a general admission ticket and then we had a digital ticket for just digital attendees. And this time we made some serious edits to that. So we just have a general admission ticket and then a virtual ticket. The virtual ticket is not in real time. We're going to be really clear about that. Not because we don't want to include you in real time, of course we do, but the technology is not there to make it a really immersive and lovely experience for everyone, and it impacts our ability to be able to give you a really good recorded product after the fact. So we're just going to, if you want to buy a virtual ticket, if you can't attend in person, you will get the recorded conference after the fact sent to you. That's what the virtual ticket is going to do for you. And it's going to be really cool. It's going to be all of the keynotes, some really cool experiences, all recorded truly in that virtual way, and sent to you in a really, it's going to be a nice professional thing. Plus we'll have the Phasma box recordings also that you will get digitally. So that's the changes on the digital aspect there. The general admission ticket is just, it includes the weekend of the conference, which is the 27th and 28th, 28th, 29th. What is it? It's the
Yeah,
last weekend in September.
I will find
Uh-huh.
and specify in just a second, but continue.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the Saturday and Sunday that is the last weekend in September, and that includes, well, the full event that is happening there. So you have 4 hours of keynotes on that Saturday, plus you have workshops and vendor fair included on that Saturday as well, and then another 4 or 5 hours of programming on Sunday. Really, really cool. But when you purchase that general admission ticket, you now get the ability, after you purchase that, to book what we are calling magical add-ons. Now, these are a la carte experiences. There's a whole menu of them that are happening from that Thursday through that Monday. There's different experiences. Krista's doing a talisman building workshop where you're going to actually get to build a talisman with Krista. We're doing something called Mystery Spirit Theater 3000, which is essentially, we are going to invite you to come sit in the theater with us, and we are going to play an episode of Ghost Adventures and like spiritually roast Ghost Adventures and talk about like how they're doing something wrong here and this is really mad at them, they shouldn't be doing that, and like all these different things, and we're going to get to do that with you. It's going to be so fun and funny and so excited. I'm that's one of the things I'm most excited about, to be totally honest, is
Yeah.
to like roast Ghost Adventures with you all and like have a laugh. It's going to be so fun.
It's basically all the best parts of a slumber party without the PJs, because we're going to be in a
Yeah.
museum, so I want to respect that. But like getting to watch a show and just roast it is how I spent most of my college time. I got to tell you,
Yeah.
friend that was
Yeah.
her house, 'cause she had a house and I had a dorm. So we went to her house, got pizza and soda and fudge brownie things and Oreos that we would stick on forks and dip in milk. And we would just watch Ghost Whisperer. And
Hmm.
I would just rant about how that's not how that goes.
Yeah.
And so it's gonna be a lot like that.
It's going to be so fun. So that's one of the add-ons you can do. We're having the VIP meet and greet again. So we're going to have like a cocktail hour essentially with you guys in the Chaos Bar. And that's so fun. You can add that on. Rebecca and I are doing this channeled history field trip, calling it Catch and Reads. So on Monday, you can join us for like a 2 hour walk around of the place that we are going.
William?
Williamsburg? Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. We're going to William. I don't know. I'm not from the East Coast. I'm just going to be like, take me to
Colonial
historic town.
from the East Coast. I'm not from Richmond. It's Colonial Williamsburg. Yes, Williamsburg.
Okay. We're going to walk around Williamsburg and catch reads together, which if you've been on either of our Patreons and seen the like video that we did in Hollywood Cemetery where we were like walking around catching reads, it's that, but with you guys.
Yeah.
So we can do that. It's going to be super fun. There's going to be a paranormal investigation with Theron that you can buy tickets for. Like all of these add-on experiences, you can do as many or as little as you want to buy tickets for. There is limited availability for each of them. So like going to be really clear. Even if you don't do an add-on and you just do the conference, it's going to be an incredible experience. But we're really trying to make it a little bit more expansive and community focused so that you can really get in with some really cool new friendships and new connections through the conference.
Mhm.
I'm excited. Yeah. With that, tickets go on sale this week. So
Third.
on the 23rd, so mark your calendar, get in there. We did have a pre-sale. So if you look on the website and you're like, shows a couple add-ons are sold out or whatever. We had a pre-sale for people who had attended the conference in January. So we offered it to them first because they took a chance on us and
Mhm.
like came to the first ever conference. So they did get the pre-sale option. So that's why you might see some of the things be like even more limited availability, but that doesn't mean we're trying to exclude anybody. That's just what we did. So in case you're wondering, that's why. But yes, tickets will be on sale. And it is a limited ticket amount. Like this conference is not huge. If you're like, this is not like a 500-person conference at all. I think our max is 150. Like we keep it really small and really intimate so that you guys actually have community and you build new friendships and new connections. It's supposed to feel like a gathering. That's why we call it a gathering, because it is a gathering. It's just ethical spiritual exploration together in a way that's kind of combating a lot of the unhealthy practices and spiritual limitations and beliefs that are existing very heavy right now in our communities.
Yeah. This is the island that a lot of us are seeking in the chaos that's going on right now.
Really, truly. It's and I mean, we get a lot out of it. It's so fun. We have such a fun time with this. Like, please come. Please come. If you can swing it, we will really want you there because it's so fun. It's
Mhm.
just so fun.
Yeah. You get an actual education from our keynotes.
Hmm.
You get actual education from these add-ons that are a lot more hands-on. Like I'm
Hmm.
going to build I'm going to make a talisman with you. I'm going to show you how to do it and you will know how to do it after that. And it's amazing and you'll be able to keep it forever. Um, and the paranormal investigation, that's a real paranormal investigation that you will get to be a part of, not in the,
Hmm.
hyped up TV show kind of way, but in the actual respectable working with the energy and the spirits of the location kind of way, going
Hmm.
through a location and learning how to channel it when it has historical significance as you would any other place, but doing it for the first time with friends and with guides and teachers who are incredible. It's a really great opportunity. I wish I would have had this when I was trying,
Hmm.
and I'm still
Me
learning.
too.
I would have had this it would have been a much easier process.
Yeah, I fully agree. And even just with general admission, you do get some really cool workshops. So we're having some workshops that are honestly so helpful, especially if you're like thinking about being a spiritual entrepreneur. We have a workshop for you. If you want to learn how to craft sigils, we have a workshop for you. Like we're doing really cool workshops. Oh, the speed read event is another add-on you can participate in as well. It's doing like a speed reading, basically the way you would do speed dating, but with psychics. Reading, they get a different style of reading with each person that reads you. And that, like, we have such cool energy there and available for you. Even with just the general admission, like I said, you get cool workshops, plus you get access to the vendor fair, which is so neat. We have really wonderful vendors. And if you want to be a vendor, please go ahead and head to our sacredspacesgathering.com. Sacredspacesgathering.com. There is a vendor application. You can go ahead and fill that out, and we would love to have you be part of the vendor fair as well. We are kind of choosy. We don't have vendors that are like psychic readers. It's like you actual like products and things and offerings in that kind of way. So if you want to be a part of that, though, we would love to have you go ahead and head over there. That is open right now. You can submit the vendor application. But we have really cool vendors and we're really excited for that too. So overall it's a really incredible experience. We're really, really glad that we get to share this with you again.
Mhm. Yeah, it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah. And we do it all inside the Virginia History Museum.
The Virginia Museum of History and Culture.
That's where we do it.
Mhm.
And it's really cool because you can learn all these skills and then walk around the museum and like catch reads off of the actual museum itself and the different things that are there. And it's very neat. So the energy is also really lovely. And it's also us like we also do a lot of intentional and conscious work to work with local tribes in the area. And we last year donated a bunch of money to a local tribe from the event. And we're communicating with the local tribes this time as well to have them be a part of the event in some way and just really honoring the history of the space and the spiritual history of the location as well, which you get to be a part of, which is really special in my opinion. I really love that element of it.
And the museum does a good job of honoring that too. This
Yeah.
museum has a lot of integrity to it.
Yeah.
We toured it when we booked it the last time. It was just so energetically there.
Hmm. Yeah. We were very stoked about it and they're wonderful people. So it's nice to get to support them as well. They really are lovely. Yeah. So anyway, the sacred spaces. That was our other excited thing we want to talk about. We are so excited about this. Like, no, you can probably already tell, but like we've been talking about it all day. It's just so awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And next week we will be able to tell you how Italy went. We are going through some things with Trova right now just to tie up some loose ends and get the story to a finish line because the story did not end when we came home from Italy. That's
Yeah.
we get to kind of continue to share. Um,
Yeah.
so far, it is rounding out to be a triumphant one, as expected and as intended. Um, but yeah, there are more
This
trips
was
on the horizon and something that we'll be able to announce very soon, I hope, which will also hopefully be very exciting. Uh,
yeah,
yeah, I'm trying
we're
so
excited.
accidentally spoil this. You know me.
Yeah. One thing I've been teasing this forever, but my Train with Me program is going to actually launch for applications the first week of June. So if you want to do an in-depth training, like 4 month training with me, this is not spirituality 101 though. We're doing like really, really like 501. Like we're like really doing some stuff. So if you know the basics and you're reaching for something more and you're really wanting to like understand more of how the universe works and how ourselves work and how like it's deeper, it's really deeper, really advanced stuff. That is going to open for me the first week of June. So stay tuned on my website stuff and I'll announce more on here. I also just want to say, with our Italy recap, I'm just going to preface this. It was a really powerful and incredible trip, but it was powerful and incredible because spirituality flourishes even through adversity. And I just want to remind everyone of that preemptively. If you're like, wow, why they're holding it off with Trove or whatever, we're resolving some stuff and working through some stuff, obviously there, but it's also I want you to make sure that you're framing it with that even as we start talking about it. Like even preemptively, it is spirituality flourishes and you can grow through literally anything. And that's what we took from this. So I'm excited to go through it with you all, but just know that's the type of story we're talking about.
Yeah, it was definitely an exercise in standing in your power, maintaining your power, exercising it in a level-headed but consistent way, and
Mhm.
make sure that you leave behind something better for the future than what you encountered.
Yeah. Very and yeah, we do have some more trips that we're going to announce very soon, which we're really excited about. And there's a couple other announcements that we also cannot spoil and will not spoil, but are very exciting too. Krista and I are hyped. We basically redesigned our whole business. We're just throw that out there.
That definitely we've redesigned everything that's going to make it
Hmm.
more fun for all of you in
Yeah.
totally easy and accessible ways. I also want to just say shout out to anybody from the Italy trip who is listening this week thinking this would be the Italy recap. It's not quite yet, but I also just want to say you guys are spectacular. I'm missing you already. The group chat is still going, but you guys are just so awesome.
Yeah.
I want to thank you guys for having been a part of that incredible experience.
Yeah. The Italy trip group made the trip cool.
Flawless.
They made the trip incredible. Like without them, it would have been a whole other experience. And I'm so grateful. Whoever was supposed to be on the trip was on the trip for sure.
Yeah.
um Down to the fact that like even you remember how we opened up like that additional 2 weeks for we were like we got a message, we just got to open this up for one more person to join. Basically that person did join, it was just for them and I'm so grateful they were on the trip too. So it was just a whole it was exactly how it was supposed to go, which didn't always mean it went well. It's
Right.
good. I
And
can't wait to talk about it.
but it's always pretty powerful.
Yeah. Anyway, happy full moon, everyone. We're so happy to be back and we're so happy to get to share in this energy with you. Please embrace this week, embrace the energy that's coming our way for the positive that it brings and the adversity it also brings, because that's how energy works. Let's
Mhm.
just relax. And we hope that you go make some magic.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
good on my end. I hope
Oh,
that
it was perfect. It was
no
perfect. Oh,
back.
we did take a clip when we were in Ostiantica. We did a Go Make Your Magic in the middle of an ancient Roman theater.
That's right. And it was good.
It was so good. So, if that one was bad, picture that other one.
Yeah. You'll see it sometime.